Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins. And if you have made it this far, then allow me to personally congratulate you for reaching the 100th episode of my Let's Play of Steins. We've certainly come a long way since the very first episode of this Let's Play series, essentially making this pretty much the longest Let's Play I've currently done on this channel. And for those of you who have been watching this and following this Let's Play from the very beginning, from the moment it was first uploaded, I commend you for your patience. And I do hope that people have been liking and commenting each of these videos. It really helps the Let's Play series and the channel as a whole. And I do hope that I have managed to pick up a few subscribers along the way. I'm pretty sure that even by the time this episode gets uploaded to YouTube, that I may have picked up maybe a couple of subscribers. I really hope I have. And to those of you who have subscribed and who have been looking forward to more episodes of Let's Play Steins, thank you very much. Anyway, before I go off on a complete tangent, in the last episode, Rintaro Okabe and Mooka Kiryu confronted the man known as FB, who was none other than Yugo Tanuji, who revealed the truth of his being a CERN rounder and the one who essentially recruited Mooka for the sole purpose of acquiring IBN 5100s for CERN. Unfortunately, Tanuji, much like Mooka herself, was nothing more than a CERN puppet, just another cog in the big machine, if you will. And at the end, he took his own life rather than die at the hands of CERN. Unfortunately, his daughter Nai didn't take too kindly to this, and in a really grisly display, she murdered Mooka in cold blood, and then vowed to take revenge on Rintaro Okabe 15 years from that point. However, the events of the previous episode have been undone. We've sent an email from FB to Mooka on July 31st, telling her not to approach Yanabayashi's shrine, thus cancelling the D-mail that Mooka sent to herself. And as a result, the worldline has shifted once again, and hopefully this time the IBN 5100 is back in our hands. But we'll have to confirm that. I look at my hands. They're clean, no blood. So, as before, Mooka Kiryu's death has been averted, much in the same way as Mayuri. And speaking of Mayushi, she was, in the previous worldline, she was scheduled to die on the 16th, as a result of reversing the D-mail in question. We've now pushed her death date back to the 17th of August, 2 days from now. But hopefully, if all things have gone well and the IBN is now in our possession once more, we should be able to access CERN's Echelon database and finally reach the 1% threshold. No knife on the floor either. I'm pretty sure that Nai used a cleaver to basically murder Mooka, although of course, as I just mentioned, that particular event is hasn't happened on this world line, nor will it. And Tanuji is still alive, by the way. As a result, everything was undone. But then, why am I in this room? Well, to be fair, the exact same thing happened. This isn't the first time this has happened. I mean, when we cancelled the emails of Faris and Rukiko, in the case of Faris, we were in Faris' apartment when that happened, and in the case of Rukiko, we were at Yanabayashi's shrine. So we are basically in the same place where we took Morica back to, which is of course her apartment. Although I wonder, since this is a completely different world line, I wonder how events have been rewritten to explain our being here in the first place. There are 2 bottles of Dr. Pepper on the coffee table. That's the interesting drawback of the ability reading Steiner. Now, if you recall, Faris, Rukiko, and also Moeka, on the other world lines, they actually remembered events from completely different world lines. That is to say, the world lines before their respective D-mails were sent. Unfortunately, in the case of Rintaro Okabe, fortunately thanks to the power of reading Steiner, he has the ability to retain memories of the world line that he has come from when he transfers to a completely different world line. The drawback of that is that he has absolutely no memory of the Rintaro Okabe of the world line that he's just jumped into. So we currently have no idea of our place in the world line, but I'm beginning to get an idea. Both bottles are open. One is nearly empty, but the other is still full. Since this is Moeka's apartment, she should be nearby. I jump at the sound of a running shower. After a few minutes, Moeka comes out of the bathroom, expressionless. Yeah, we probably shouldn't say anything further at this point. It might upset the world line. Moeka sits down on the tatami mats, not questioning why I'm here. So I wonder if in this world line she invited us to her apartment here. She takes out her purple phone and begins typing a mail. It feels like forever since I've seen her lightning speed typing. Welcome back, Shining Finger. You've got mail. I don't need an IBN 5100 anymore. Moeka. This mail doesn't make sense. It reads like Moeka and I were discussing the IBN 5100 just moments ago. Yeah, unfortunately, we will not have memories of that particular conversation thanks to the drawback that I just mentioned moments ago. Of course, indeed, try to take over the world. Of course! Sorry, I didn't mean to reference Street Fighter, the movie. Those of you who get that meme, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's exactly what happened on this world line. And explains why I'm here. Because if we remember, even though Moeka sent a message to herself giving her information on the location of the IBN 5100, unfortunately we needed FB's phone to counter that. Although that explains, that actually brings up a following question. Moeka would only ever go with things, follow orders or instructions from explicitly from FB. So why would she have followed information sent from her own phone when it clearly didn't work for Rintaro? There's probably a loophole, but we don't really need to explain it, since once again that world line no longer exists. My supervisor told me to stop looking. Moeka.
George? FB か?
Yeah, probably shouldn't have let that particular cat out of the bag. And Moeka is extremely suspicious of us. Yeah, we kind of slipped up there. How do you know about FB? Where did you get that information? I talked to someone at Arc Rewrite? Yeah, that's never gonna fly. So FB, Yugo Tanuji, Mr. Braun is still alive. I feel relief, but also fear. I mustn't forget that he is my enemy after all. For now, however, I'm more interested in what Moeka just said. FB cancelled her mission to retrieve the IBN 5100. Well, we were the ones who sent that email to begin with.
任務達成はすなわち処分確定。扱いとしては犬っつうより家畜だな。
So if Moeka had completed her mission, she would have been disposed of. And also, Tanuji would have been as well. I recall his last words. Perhaps he cancelled her mission so that they wouldn't be eliminated. Technically, Rintaro, we were the ones who sent that instruction from Tanuji's phone. But I don't think that will prevent their deaths. Worldline convergence is a terrible thing. They cannot escape their fate, unless we cheated by crossing the 1% threshold.
私がこの手で殺してやるまで許さないから。
And there is a moment from a worldline I'm glad no longer exists. I cover my ears, not listening, la 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 la, do the la 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 la, not listening. Just pretend that never happened. But I can't get that childish, hate-filled voice out of my head. On that world line, I turned an innocent girl into a murderer. Once again, Rintaro, not our fault. I bite my lip hard enough to draw blood. Fortunately, that world line has already been undone. But how will things turn out on this new world line? Well, it stands to reason if Moeka has stopped her search for the IBN 5100, that means that the one we acquired from Yanabayashi Shrine should now be ripe for the taking, unless Worldline Convergence decides to pull a fast one on us and continue to keep it out of our hands and make us work for our meal. But I shouldn't think that that's the case. And speaking of which, I believe as a result, I don't think Moeka is going to be introduced to the Future Gadget Laboratory as lab member 005. And we probably shouldn't do that given her involvement with SERN. But there's no point in thinking about it. If the plan worked, then the IBN should already be back in my possession, either at the shrine or at the lab. And if that's the case, then there's no need to stay on this world line either. Indeed. Let's see if we've succeeded. On the way back to the lab, I stop by the Brawn Tube workshop and peek in through the window. And no one's around, except Yugo Tanuji. The 42-inch CRT is powered on, and Tanuji, third-in-hand Brawn, FB, is lounging in front of it, reading the sports pages. Tanuji is still alive. His daughter, Nai, has no reason to hate anyone now. I climb the stairs to the lab. We have no reason to speak to him. Let us leave him be. There's no one there but Kurisu, and with the CRT currently on, we can basically,
桐生萌香のアパートに行ったか
Huh?
Not in this world line, it seems. Kurisu pauses her at-channel browsing session and to look at me in confusion. So you're still perusing at-channel. That is
萌香
hilarious.
さんのアパート？私が？行ってないけど。
And I take it from your response that you don't even know who Morika Kiryu is. That is definitely for the best.
そうか
どういうことよ。
いや言っていないならいいんだ
Indeed. We can finally put that to rest. I cut across the lounge and head straight for the development room. In the middle of that room sits the time leap machine. The phone wave version 2 or version 3, or whatever it is. 3rd edition version 1.3 or something. After a glance at the time leap machine, I scan the shelves.
あった
And cue the victory fanfare, a large, familiar cardboard box. And inside, I was right. Inside the box is the IBN 5100, the legendary Phantom Retro PC stolen from me by a twist of fate. Insert victory fanfare here. Excellent. It has returned. The IBN 5100 is now back in our hands. At long last. The long battle is finally over. Now all we have to do is get Daru to set it up and get things reprogrammed. But with this machine, we can now finally break through SERN's proprietary gateway, its fortress, and then all of SERN will finally belong to Hoenn Kiyoma. We did it! Hooray! We can finally save Mayuri. It has been a long, grueling, frustrating battle.
Super Haka, come on!
I can't contain my excitement. My heart is beating like a jackhammer.
橋田ならいないわよ。
This is probably still Kamima time, isn't it, Kurisu? We'll have to get him to come back. In that case, he won't return until evening, but we definitely need him to set up the IBN. I can't wait that long. So I fire up the time machine and leap. And with the world line in place, when we leap back in time, the IBN should still be here on this world line. So if we jump back to before Daru arrives at Kamima, hopefully the IBN should still be there in the Future Gadget Lab. And then we can get him to work on it. And hopefully we won't have to time leap again. But just to be safe, we'll stop just after Kurisu has actually finished the time leap machine. As shape and color return to the world, I see Daru in front of his computer, sleepily playing an Oroge. Kurisu's napping on the sofa. She probably just got done with her all-nighter on the time leap machine. Mayuri's not around. She probably went to Rukako's to beg him to cosplay.
Daru! Christina!
Let us commence Operation IBN 5100. Kurisu jerks awake. I know you're on the verge of being a complete insomniac, Kurisu, but we have important business to take care of.
Operation Verdandi 最終フェーズを開始する
My sonorous declaration earns only blank stares. Why are they so slow? Maybe it's because they're completely lethargic.
ダル IBN 5100だだからではない IBN 5100があるのだよ
そりゃあるっしょオカリンが持ってきたんじゃん
And your confirmation, Itaru Hashida, is music to my ears. So the worldline has been rewritten.
柳林神社からな
Yeah, you may not believe this, but somebody stole the IBN 5100 and we've been jumping through time and countless world lines to finally get it back in our hands.
オカリン今日はやけにテンション高くね
No, just time jumping. Though soda would probably be really good right about now.
ちょっとぐらい寝かせろよ
Be that as it may, Kurisu can't wait any longer. Kurisu rubs her eyes and complains. She looks dead tired.
徹夜明けなんだから
And I commend your valiant effort, but now we have one more important matter to discuss.
ダル一つ聞くが IBN 5100の使い方について勉強はしたか
Hopefully he knows how to use it. It is an old PC after all.
まあ一応
I know we probably said we'd postpone it for a little bit longer, but we need to crack that proprietary code
コミマ
now.
前のクソ忙しい時期に僕って偉すぎじゃねイギリスだったらナイトの称号もらえるレベル
I'll make sure the Queen sends you a letter, Daru.
ならば今日からお前のことをさあスーパーハッカーと呼ぼう
Indeed. Well, Lord Daru, for that matter.
だが断る
You're turning down a knighthood.
くだらない会話は自重しろ頭が痛くなる
If Daru knows how to use the IBN, then we can hack CERN right now. And that can only be a good thing at this point. Mayuri's not here, but that's actually more convenient.
長き戦いにいよいよ決着をつける時が来たすなわちラグナロックが開始されるのだ
Indeed. Our battle with CERN has finally reached its conclusion.
本作戦の概要はすなわちセルン本部の最新部に隠された極秘データを IBN 5100によるクラッキングで破壊することである
And once we do, we shall finally achieve Suzuha's mission, reach the 1% threshold, and jump ship from the Alpha world lines to the Beta world lines to a future in which CERN's dystopian ambitions are a thing of memory.
エシュロンなる卑劣な電子機器により奴らは 我らの極秘情報をかすめ取った。天津さえそれをもとに我らを特定し、我らが開発した人類の夢タイムマシンの強奪をも目論んだ。
Indeed, once we break Echelon, all our dreams will come true.
研究機関でありながらその裏で時空の支配者の座を望み、非道なるゼリーマン実験を行う奴らに今こそ正義の鉄槌を下そうではないか。
Rather not weapon of choice for an insane, mad scientist, hoeing Kyoma, but a worthy declaration nonetheless.
そして真の時空の支配者がどちらなのか、奴らの目にしかと刻みつけてやれ。
Indeed, we've been at the mercy of CERN for far too long. Now it's our turn.
戦いが終わった時、世界を陰で牛耳る支配構造はついに崩壊し再構成されるだろう。そう、我らが望んだ混沌がついに訪れるのだ。
For the dark gods, as they say.
まあうるさい。
You may not be so grumpy once you finally hear exactly what we've been up to these last few timelines. Though, speaking of which, we'll probably have to explain that all over again, because this is a different world line. Kurusu gets fed up and rises from the sofa.
一体何なの？
Only a battle across time and space with CERN. Nothing too
オカリン
important.
の心の闇は誰にもわからんでござる。
Indeed, Daru. Nobody can know, and nobody must
そも
know
そも
either.
設定じゃ岡部は狂気のマッドサイエンティストじゃなかった？なのになんで正義の鉄槌とか言っちゃってるんだ。
ついカッとなってやったんじゃね。今は反省してるかも。
Probably, but never mind that, because we're on the cusp of a very important moment.
お前たちごちゃごちゃ言っていないで準備しろ。
準備って何ぞ。
To break into CERN's Echelon database.
だから今言っただろう。セルンへのクラッキングだ。
クラッキングは良くないと思う。
なんという優等生的発言。お前は委員長か。
捕まりたいの？
I think getting arrested is the least of our worries, Kurusu could say.
そういう問題ではない。
I felt the urge to grind my teeth. Instead, I fixed Kurusu with my stare.
俺はこのターニングポイントへ到達するためにこれまで戦ってきた。
If only you could see what we've seen with these eyes, Kurusu could say.
今こそアルファ世界線を離脱しマユリを救う。邪魔をするというなら誰だろうと許さん。絶対にだ。
岡部。
And it seems that Kurusu is finally getting what we're trying to say. Daru, meanwhile, probably still thinks that everything we've just put ourselves through is nothing but Okarin's usual nonsense.
必死すぎ。
That was a pretty poor Heath Ledger impression there, Daru. I've got good reason, very good reason. To them, only half an hour has passed since the time leap machine was completed. But to me, many days, many weeks, many timelines have passed since this ordeal began.
頼む
And it's curious to note that we are back on the 13th once again. The very day in which Mayuri Shina was first murdered by CERN in Morika. But if we have our way, and we certainly do, that will never happen again. I bow my head deeply.
俺の願いを聞いてくれ。
Once again, we shall have to inform them of everything that we've just put ourselves through. Or else Mayuri will die, and in 26 years the world will belong to CERN. Suza's sacrifice would have been for nothing. Daru claps me on the shoulder, then smiles broadly and thrusts his thumb skyward. If you do this, you will certainly be promoted to wizard class status.
別にあんたのためにクラッキングするんじゃないんだからね。
That was a very poor impersonation of Kurisu there, Daru.
これはひどい。
Says the proverbial tsundere in the corner. I burst out in laughter. It's probably been a long time since Rintaro Okabe had fun. So Super Hacker Tsundere version is here to save the day. I couldn't have asked for a better right-hand man. Thank you so much, Daru. As Daru hooks the IBN 5100 to his PC, I explain the situation one more time. Let us hope that this is the last time that we do this.
すべての元凶は俺が最初にダルに当てて送ったメールにある。
And because CERN managed to intercept that, that put them on the trail of Rintaro Okabe and the Future Gadget Laboratory.
それがセルンのエシュロンに捕らえられてしまったせいでラウンダーに目をつけられた。
Which is very unfortunate, but because of the time leaps we've made,
結果マユリは殺され、俺たち3人はセルンに拉致され、タイムリープマシンは強奪される。
because of the time leaps we've made to get the IBN 5100 back in the Future Gadget Lab, those events will not happen. Some years after that, I assume, Daru and I escape and form the resistance to which Suzaha belonged. But as for
どれだけ
Kurisu,
回避しようとしてもダメだった。世界はアトラクタフィールド理論により同じ結末へと収束してしまう。
as long as we remain on the Alpha World lines, Mayuri Shina, his fate is unavoidable.
それもし全部妄想だったらオカリンはラノベ作家になれると思うお。
Keep laughing, Daru.
事実だ。すべてな。マユリの死を避けるためには。
And to free Suza's future from CERN.
アルファ世界線から脱出するしかない。これまでに歪ませた事象をすべて取り消すことで、それは可能になると俺は考えている。
And we can only achieve that by breaking into CERN's Echelon database with the IBN.
つまり目指すべきは俺がダルに最初の D メールを送る前のベータ世界線。そこへ到達するためエシロンに捉えられた最初のメールデータをセルンのデータベースから削除しなくてはならないのだ。
And once we do that, we will be home free. If what Suza said is correct, then erasing that data will take us over 1% divergence and back to the beta worldline. It was just one short email, barely 36 bytes, but it changed the course of human history. The butterfly effect.
面白いわね。
Also noticed that we will basically be jumping back to the original world line before everything changed, which is certainly curious. Kurisu mutters as she sips her hot coffee. Looks like she's already recovered from her exhaustion.
マキセ氏は信じるん？
Appears that her curiosity is giving her the adrenaline boost that she needs.
仮説としてはね。できれば客観的データが欲しいところだけど、それはさすがに無理だし。
Well, that's rather unfortunate.
安心しろ。
But we can't
お
help
前が改
that.
良を施したタイムリープマシンの出来はガチだった。
And nothing happened. No flaws, no corruptions, nothing.
当然でしょ。
Kurisu seems mildly embarrassed. She doesn't deny it. That's just like Kurisu.
それに IBN5100 でのハッキングはもともと予定してたことだし。
Indeed, that's what we need to do in order to cross the finish line.
とにかくアクセスしてみて、もしそこにメールデータが存在していたなら、岡部の言葉は事実だと証明される。
要するに考えるな、感じるんだということですね。わかります。
I don't think she's telling you to use the force, Daru.
いや、逆にわかんないけど。
Yeah, pay him no mind.
考えるよりやってみろということだ。
That's not quite right. I think Daru was correct. Daru extracts his massive body from the space behind the desk, plops himself down on the chair, and wipes away his sweat.
つなぎ終わったお。ちょっと設定いじらないとダメだけど、10分しないうちに始められる。
Hopefully those 10 minutes should go by rather quickly now,
よし。
and we should have absolutely no problems from here on out.
それにしても元凶となった最初のメールね。
If it is indeed in CERN's database, we'll find it.
それってあれでしょ？ ATF で見せてもらったやつ。私が死んでたとかなんとか。
Indeed, the one in which took place at the Dr. Nakabashi's shrine. No, not Yanabayashi. I'm getting my words mixed up.
そうだ。ラジカンでお前が殺されているのを目撃した俺は、ダルにそれを伝えるメールを送った。ダルはたまたま電話レンジカッコ仮の実験中で、放電現象が起きて。
What I was trying to say was Dr. Nakabashi, not Yanabayashi. I know they sound the same, but Rintaro has just caught up to where I was. The very first email that we sent to Daru before this all happened. My voice trails off. Something is telling me to stop. Fear rises in my chest. A sudden, terrible certainty that I'm missing something vital. Indeed, we've been so focused on Mayuri's death, and the death of Moeka and Tanuji, and of course of the now late Suzuha Mane. We've forgotten something. I frantically replay the conversation in my head. We must cancel all of our changes to the timelines thus far. The very first email started it all. The very first email that CERN intercepted and added to the Echelon through Echelon. The D-mail concerning Kurisu Makase at the radio building. where Kurisu Makase was murdered. An icy fist seizes my heart, and I turn to Kurisu with a look of pure terror. Our eyes meet. Those eyes of her no longer show the sharp defiance from when we first met. Instead, they glow warmly with the light of curiosity.
何よ。
In the original worldline, ladies and gentlemen, this woman, Christina, the zombie, Celeb Sev, Hoin Kyoma's assistant, the woman known as Kurisu Makase, was murdered in the radio building. I was right. I had missed something vital, something dire. The world line I set my sights on to save Mayuri. The world line upon which Caesar had staked her hope for the future. The world line I am at last poised to reach at the end of this long struggle. On that world line, Mayuri lives. Yet on that world line, SERN fails. Yet, on that world line, on the 8th floor of the radio building, sometime after Dr. Nakabashi's lecture, which happened on that particular world line but not this one, Kurisu Makase dies. Oh dear. And now we're on chapter 10, Paradox Meltdown. I thought I had found the solution, that everything would be alright. Unfortunately, even at the end, we were mistaken. I believe now is a very good time to end this episode of Let's Play Steins Gate. It has been a long journey, and we had so much hope, and yet now, on the cusp of our final victory against CERN, that hope is about to come crashing down to reality. So when we return, adventurers, we shall be faced with an impossible choice. Who do we save? Mayuri Shina or Kurisu Makase? If we save one, the other will meet their end. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.